sometimes there's this notion that we say that, sin isn't fun. The lifestyle that the world tempts us with, that Satan tries to entice us with, is just not fun. It's not enjoyable. But you made an honest point. Like, you had a good time living in your sin, right?
Yeah.
And man, but you saw the backside of it, right? With your friend, with the tragedy that happened there. But kind of speak into that a little bit, if you don't mind. Like,
Yeah.
What do you mean by it was fun? And then how did you get out of that fun, right?
Absolutely. And I think, and this is just my personal belief.
Yep, absolutely.
But I think that people have, like you said, a wrong notion that sin is not fun.
Mm-hmm.
Sin is so much more easier to commit because it's so much more fun.
Right.
Just simply putting it, right? And I think that's how the devil entices us. He knows our sinful nature, and because that nature is already built into us, unfortunately, it's just those are the things that seem to be like, oh, why can't we go out and party?
Yeah.
But that's where common sense comes in too, if you look at it practically, right?
Yeah.
It's just like common sense would say, yeah, I shouldn't be drinking and driving.
Mm-hmm.
Common sense. Science says if I drink too much, then my brain's impaired or my thinking is impaired, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So science backs up the theories, but yeah, is drinking fun? Honestly, now I don't think it is. But back then, all my friends did it.
Sure.
And I think it's also what society makes fun, right?
Right. Yeah, fun, subjective to the society you're in. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So for me, I never ever and I'm being very honest here, but I never ever thought drinking was fun. Mm-hmm. I don't even think alcohol tastes good.
Yeah.
I hate it. Absolutely hate it.
Sure.
But I did it all the time because all my friends did it. And I thought to be cool, I had to do the same thing. Same thing with smoking and all that stuff. So thankfully, I never touched drugs. That's one thing. I did everything else except for that. So don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah, don't do drugs. Dare you. Whatever that organization's called.
Right. But anyway, so yeah, I think it is fun, but it has its consequences. And that was just one of the things that I talked to you about. But the mental issues that I had to, I never wanted to accept that I was depressed, but I was.
Yeah.
Because I was on this high every single night going out with my friends, but I never truly had friends. They were all acquaintances, not even so, if I may. I never ever talked deep with them. Like this conversation is far deeper than I would ever get with anybody in that circle of my life. Yeah. It was only about talking about girls, talking about partying, talking about everything but life.
Wow.
And I saw a lot of friends falter through that. And as I said, I'm so thankful because I would have been there if I continued down that path. So it might seem, and going back to that is the fun is temporary.
Right.
It's the temporary fun that was fun.
Yeah.
But, and when I say temporary, I mean just that night. Mm-hmm. You wake up in the morning, you're hungover, so you're feeling like crap.
Right.
And then you're like, ooh, I want to go hang out with my friends. Where are my friends? They don't consider me a friend. Yeah. They consider me a drinking buddy or whatever, right? Yeah. So the deep community that I have here in Vero, none of them I've drank with, yeah. You know what I'm saying? But none of them I partied with, but but they're all like my brothers and sisters. They're family to me. All of my friends are like family to me here. Yeah. Never had that in New York City. Wow. So I don't know if that kind of touched on that.
No, absolutely. That deeper level of connection. I think you hit the nail on the head with the temporary high, if you will. Yeah. We actually did a series in our youth group called Temporary High. So that's what came to mind. Great. But don't come when we're educating kids, when we're ministering to kids or people that are new to the faith, this idea of saying sin is not fun. It's maybe not the best approach to teaching about sin because like you said, it is fun temporarily. Yeah. It's more of sin is destructive. It's fun, but destructive.
Absolutely.
And long term, it's not in your best interest. And long term, if you're a child of God, I would hope that your biggest motivation to stay away from it is because you love God so much.
Exactly.
And these are the things he died for, right? Yeah. But on top of that, if that's not enough, the destructive patterns and repercussions of this fun, wild living is just catastrophic. Obviously, the extreme scenario was your friend, which, man, just super sad to think about. Absolutely. Thank God that God pulled you from that.
Yeah.
But don't let the dopamine rush, right? Because that's usually the chemical in our brain that's getting let off when we do these different things. It's very short term, and I'm not a science expert, but from what I'm told, like the dopamine rush you had yesterday is not going to be as strong the next day. You need something even stronger,
absolutely,
to make up for that dopamine, right?
Yeah.
But some other chemicals I've read about is like serotonin, which is another good pleasure chemical, but it's created through like friendships and like working out and things that are more like natural and things like that. It's just interesting.
That's why you can replace that rush that you're getting with partying and stuff with other things, like
exactly,
like going to the gym. And for me, that's what I do when I go outdoors.
Like, yeah, absolutely.
When I'm hiking around, I'm moving, but all that rush that I might have had during partying, I'm having just being out in nature. And I put my headphones in, and I'm more often than not listening to worship music.
That's so cool.
It's personal preference. I just enjoy listening to worship music.
Absolutely.
And I just have a conversation with God while that's my time with God. And I really like that. So
that's so cool. And I'm sure you can testify that that's way more satisfying than the temporary
100%
wild stuff. Just to take it from Rohan, I'd hate for you guys to have to learn the hard way yourself. Like learn from somebody instead of having to hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
But that's good. And that's just a natural way God has orchestrated thing, right? The serotonin and things like that. It's like, it's just funny. It's funny. Like, right. When we talk about science, like it lines up with God's word, right? I remember a lifetime wellness class I took in college talking about how, if you have too many partners sexually, you're going to get STDs and things like that. And I was like, oh, so that scares the crap out of me, right? And you realize, oh wait, so if I live according to God's ways, I won't be in danger of that type of stuff. It's like, I won't be in danger of losing brain cells if I live in accordance to soberness.
Yeah.
If I won't lose different things, health-wise benefits, because it's just interesting, right? Yeah. God's way is the best way. And I'm not trying to say that because I'm a biased Christian. I'm just look at the science, man.
It's true, yeah.
Absolutely. So that's cool.